Hello students, today we will continue our discussion regarding atomic structure. In my previous lecture, I had told you regarding Dalton's atomic theory, which mainly says that atom is indivisible, which says that atom is ultimate particle of matter. Entire matter is made up of atoms, but atom is not made up of anything else. The word atom is being taken from Greek word atomos, that means uncuttable or undivisible. So the basic point of Dalton's atomic theory was that atom is indivisible and it can neither be created nor be destroyed. The concept was proposed in year 1807 and almost holds good for another 60-70 years. And scientific community was happy also because they were able to explain most of the observed facts and laws on the basis of this theory. Now, experiments on frictional electricity and experiments on electrolysis has suggested that matter has something that carries the charge. Phenomena of electrolysis was first studied qualitatively and quantitatively by Michael Faraday, and on the basis of his observations he proved that there is something which can carry charge. But actually the idea of divisibility of atom was not there, but it was thought that something is there which can carry charge because of these changes are being taking place. And finally, an experiment was done which has clearly indicated the presence of something inside an atom. And interestingly, this experiment was not intended for the discovery of electron. This experiment was done to check conduction of electricity through gases at lower pressures. At ordinary pressure, electricity doesn't conduct through air. We have seen that lot many naked wires are being placed around us, and every wire is carrying electricity. So if under ordinary conditions air would have connected, the electricity could pass through the air, we all would have died, but that is not the case. So basically that experiment was designed to check the conduction of gases, check the conduction of electricity through gases, but that has resulted in the discovery of entirely new thing, that atom has a negatively charged particle which was later on named as electrons. So in this module, in this lecture, I basically tell you that what is that discharge tube experiment and how it leads to the discovery of a negatively charged particle. So first we see discharge tube experiment. So this experiment was done by Julius Plucker, William Crookes and their co-workers, and as I told you that this experiment was basically designed to check the conduction of electricity through gases. It was nothing to do with the discovery of electrons, but ultimately it ended up with the discovery of electrons. So let us first see the experimental setup, then what was the observations and how it was further extended. In this discharge tube experiment, roughly a 60 to 70 centimeters long glass tube was being taken, and in this glass tube one end of it was fitted with a vacuum pump, and both ends they are fitted with two metal electrodes, and these electrodes were joined with the source of high voltage through which we can apply up to a voltage of 10,000 volts. So this is glass tube. This part is attached to a vacuum pump. This is cathode. This is anode. And this is the source of voltage through which a high voltage of 10,000 volt can be applied. This is experimental setup for discharge tube experiment, and this entire tube is also called as Crookes tube in the honor of William Crookes, who was behind this experiment. This experiment was basically designed to check the conduction of electricity through gases. Now, in this tube, when voltage is applied at ordinary pressure, means roughly at 1 atmosphere, no change was observed. Conduction of electricity was not observed. No change in the appearance of discharge tube, it is also not observed. Then some air is withdrawn with the help of this vacuum pump, so the pressure inside the tube is reduced. And when pressure has came about 10 to the power minus 2 atmosphere, two changes were being observed. So when pressure was reduced, first change, conduction of electricity started. And tube was filled with some color. So this was the two change that was observed. And finally, when pressure was further reduced, again two changes were observed. Conduction continued, colors disappeared, and a greenish glow was observed behind anode. So this is discharge tube experiment. In discharge tube experiment, a 50 to 60 centimeters long glass tube was being taken, which was fitted with two metal electrodes at either of its sides, and one part of tube is connected to a vacuum pump so that air inside the tube can be withdrawn and pressure can be adjusted to the desired levels. And these electrodes were connected to the source of voltage through which a high voltage of 10,000 volt can be applied. Now, when pressure was an ordinary pressure was taken at 1 atmosphere and voltage was applied, no change was observed. Then gas is withdrawn out of the tube, pressure was reduced to 10 to the power minus 2 atmosphere. Then these two changes were observed. Conduction of electricity starts and tube was filled with some color. And the color that was produced in the tube was dependent on the nature of gas taken. For one gas, a different color was produced, for another gas, a different color was produced, and this further has become the basis for the making of these neon signboards. All of you have seen that there are shining signboards which are placed there. So they are called neon signboards, in which neon gas is used in a discharge tube. Now, when air was further withdrawn, pressure was further reduced, two more changes were observed. Conduction of electricity continued. Electricity continued to conduct from one end to another through gas. Then these colors that were produced, they disappeared. Tube looks transparent, but a greenish glow, a faint greenish glow is observed behind the anode. And it was concluded that the glow that is observed here, glow which is observed behind the anode, is because of certain invisible rays that would have originated from the cathode. And these rays were named as cathode rays, as they are supposed to initiated or originated from the cathode and they traveled through the towards the anode. So this was the all about discharge tube experiment. Now, when these cathode rays they were studied in detail, it was concluded that these cathode rays were made up of highly energetic, negatively charged particles, and these negatively charged particles were named as electrons. So now we will discuss that how these cathode rays were studied, what are the properties of these cathode rays, and how it was concluded that they were made up of negatively charged particles. Now, detailed study of these cathode rays was done by J.J. Thomson and their co-workers, and once an opaque object is placed in their path, a sharp shadow was created. That means what? They travel in straight direction. So cathode rays travel in straight direction. Then once a small paddle wheel, a very lightweight paddle wheel made up of mica, was placed in the path of these rays. This wheel started moving. This shows that these rays are made up of particles. They are made up of particles. Now, in order to understand this point, let us consider a very simple observation. When we are sitting in this room or anywhere else, there are always sources of light. We can feel the light, but light doesn't causes any impact on ourselves. I mean, the light falling is only seen through the eyes. It cannot be felt through our skin. But if you stand outside and wind is blowing at a faster rate, then the small particles of dust that they are moving, when they collide with ourselves, we can feel it. But since our mass is very high, so they cannot move ourselves. But on the other hand, if a big moving stone comes and collides with me, we can feel its impact. In the similar way, had these cathode rays was electromagnetic radiations like light, no change would have been observed on that light paddle wheel. But since they are made up of particles, so when these particles they collided at that paddle wheel, it starts rotating. This shows that they are material particles, they are not electromagnetic radiations. They are not electromagnetic radiations. So that is how the presence of particles is being confirmed. Then an electrical field was applied across the discharge tube. Say for example, this is discharge tube, this is cathode, this is anode, and an electrical field was applied in this way. So when the experiment was repeated, the glow was observed here towards the positive plate. That means what? These particles are negatively charged. When any object was placed here and they keep on moving through this object becomes hot. Means these particles they have got high kinetic energy, and when they keep on colliding with this object, it becomes hot. So they are highly energetic and they have got high penetrating power also. Until and until very thick sheet is placed here, you cannot stop its movement. So they have got penetrating power, and as a result of all these observations, it was well established that cathode rays are made up of negatively charged particles. Then later on, Thomson determined their charge by mass ratio. Thomson determined their charge by mass ratio which was found to be 1.676 into 10 to the power 8 coulombs per gram. Then R. A. Millikan, a German scientist, was able to determine charge of electron with the help of his famous oil droplet experiment, and this value comes out to be minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. And when these two values E by m and E value is known, m was calculated by dividing E divided by E by m. So 1.76 into 10 to the power 8 coulomb per gram divided by 1.6 it is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 divided by 1.76 into 10 to the power 8, that comes to be 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 28 grams. And this mass is about 1 upon 137th part of mass of hydrogen. And the charge that was determined here is the smallest known charge, and all other charges are found to be multiples of this factor. So this is treated as unit negative charge. Now another change is done in this discharge tube experiment. In this discharge tube experiment, this discharge tube experiment was repeated by changing metals. Different type of metals are applied. Different gases are being taken here, and experiment was repeated, and every time same sort of cathode rays and same sort of their particles were observed. So that has proved that electrons are universally present in each and every type of atom. So an electron is defined as subatomic particle with unit negative charge of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19th coulomb and a mass of 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 28 grams. So that is how presence of electrons was detected in matter. Now, if atom as a whole or matter as a whole is electrically neutral, So if it has got a negatively charged particle, it should have a positively charged particle also. And on the basis of this idea, this discharge tube experiment was modified and positively charged particle proton was discovered. How? Details we will see in our next lecture. So before I close, let me take this opportunity to revise all the things that I told in this lecture, step by step, one by one. First point, Dalton has given an idea about undivided atom. According to Dalton, atom is undivisible and is not made up of anything, and it can neither be created nor be destroyed. Then the concept of frictional electricity and concept of this electrolysis has given a thought that there is something in the matter or in the atom that can carry charge. Finally, discharge tube experiment was carried out by William Crookes and Julius Plucker to check the conduction of electricity through gases. However, experiment has led to the discovery of a negatively charged particle. In discharge tube experiment, when pressure was reduced drastically and voltage was applied across the electrodes, a faint greenish glow is observed behind the anode, behind positively charged electrode, and it was concluded that this greenish glow is because of certain invisible rays that are originating through cathode. ठीक है? Now, Thomson and his co-workers, they studied in detail about the properties of these cathode rays. They concluded that they travel in straight direction, they are made up of material particles, they are negatively charged, they cause shadow, they deflect towards positive this positive part of electric field. So with the help of all these facts that were observed, it is concluded that cathode rays are made up of negatively charged electrons, negatively charged particles that were named electrons. The term electron was used by a scientist named Stoney, Stoney, and interestingly this term was used much before than the actual discovery of an electron. Later on, Thomson was able to determine charge by mass ratio or E by m ratio of an electron. Then Sir Robert A. Millikan performed an experiment which is called as oil droplet experiment, and on the basis of oil droplet experiment and various calculations, he was able to determine the charge on these negatively charged particles of cathode rays, and once the E and E by m values were there, mass of electron was also determined. So that is how studies on discharge tube led to the discovery of negatively charged particle electron, and in discharge tube experiment different metal electrodes used, different gases were used, but every time we know that same type of electrons, same type of negative charge particles are obtained, and this confirms that electrons are universally present. Now, how these electrons are given out? What is the source from which these cathode rays are produced? Now, for that it is suggested that this is cathode and these are the various gas atoms that are present in the discharge tube. So what happens that under the influence of voltage, first electrons are given out from the material of cathode here, then these electrons they move and they collide with the molecules of gas present, and during this collision gases get ionized, means some electrons are also given out from the gas molecules, and inside the tube ionized gas molecules and electrons are present that are responsible for the conduction of electricity, and the beam of electron which first produced from the cathode then originate from the gas molecules move towards the anode, and that is how cathode rays are produced. So with the help of this experiment, electrons were discovered. And since matter as a whole is electrically neutral, so if it has got a negatively charged particle, it should have some electrically charged particle also. And on the basis of this idea, this discharge tube experiment was slightly modified and positively charged particle proton was discovered. How? We will learn in our next module. Till then, stay safe, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.